So what we did is we applied to the Baptist Healthcare Foundation to just say how can we better improve Floresville's health and well-being, to provide more areas for our community to walk. Maybe self-police the area that in the area with the skate park has increased in crime because some of the youth have done things where there's no one around that area. So we said, well, let's drive some different people to that area and different so we applied for the grant and we were awarded the maximum grant, the $7,500. So really what that's going to go towards is the project in total will probably run anywhere from around, I would say, we're getting the bids in right now, but maximum probably about $25,000. That's going to include in here, the first part is a 5-foot high fence. It's like a horse fence, so it's that's what they recommended for the dogs where they can rub up against it. So it would be 850 foot down and I think a couple hundred feet across with like a 12-foot gate for the city to go in and maintain because they already cut the parks anyway. And then the second part of the phase would be to add in 800 feet in length walking trail. And right now we're getting bids on that for concrete because we've had recommendations of not to use asphalt because we talked to the city because they can do asphalt but they don't have a 4-foot paver. So it's a lot of manual labor, whereas concrete's a little more easier and lasts longer with the sun and over time. So we saw how the asphalt foundation has deteriorated over time with the pecan park unless you put in like cement curbs on the side. So if you got to put cement curbs, you might have to use concrete the whole thing. And the third part is to put in like 2-part benches, 2-part tables, like a massage center for the animals to go, for the dogs to get up on, and then waste disposal stations that where they can put the waste for the dogs when they're walking through it. Because not only is this just for dogs and animals, but for people in general to just create another walking trail within the city limits to just improve our city. And so we went to the FEDC board probably sometime last year, I don't know the exact date, and as part of the thing, they wanted to not just improve the new Floresville Sports Complex, but they wanted to improve other parks in the city. So we made a proposal to them saying if they could help back us if we came up with some funds to kind of help match or go along the way to finish the project out, because if you have 4,500 and 7,500, you're looking at maybe a little over $10,000, and it's going to take more than that. So we went to them. They had approved, I think Paul Sack had made the presentation, and they had approved to allocate up to $20,000. So they don't have to spend the whole $20,000. We're going to be fiscally responsible to the city as possible to keep it as low as possible. So like McCoy's has already donated the material at cost for anything that we want to get there as far as with the fencing and stuff like that. I think the bids range for the fence, just off the top of my head, anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000. We found someone, I think under $7,500, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, to do the work. And we're hiring, trying to hire just like we're doing the city streets. Gerard, we recognize that 100% local contractors to build our facilities because we just see the value in that and work with the Economic Development Corporation. So they just backed us as we need the funds to move forward. So today really is in order to move forward with the project so we don't have to send back that $7,500, which I really wouldn't want to see have another black eye, was just to ask for your permission to build on your property, to move forward with this project because it is your property and maybe y'all can see the vision of that. And so that's really what today is for.
Yes,
and to ask what else y'all may want in the areas to help.
Okay, I missed this part of the first part.
That's great.
Have y'all looked at where the parking's going to be at?
Yes, so like I said, those are just preliminary things right now. We walked it the other day. We walked out with a few people, and right now the street is wide enough. So what we're going to do is come in to the left of the park and just put a permeable type base with city code. We were out there. We need to go out there with Mark, I believe, to get some more suggestions.
When you say the road's wide enough, whatever you're talking about.
On C Street. So the road's wide enough where we can park on the side of the road temporarily right now until
C Street. You talking about?
I'm not C Street.
A Street.
Yes,
or
exactly.
Street.
A Street. Yeah, A Street. Yes, Councilman.
I don't think there's room for 2 cars coming and going. I think we could be causing problems, but maybe along the skateboard on 6th Street and
okay, yeah. And that's what.
And the park.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're doing is you know, we're working with Mark right now. We're not doing anything because they already have on y'all's plans to work on the engineering as far as Intrepid, I think.
Yes, the Intrepid's going to deal with the drainage.
Yeah, they're going to expand it.
There's a drainage issue there. The uniqueness of this presentation is that they're not asking for any money. They want to spend the money that they've been awarded and been able to do to make the improvements because it is a city park. They have to ask your permission. We've worked with the Park Foundation on doing some things to the bathrooms. We've opened up and we've got cameras there, we've got light there. And they painted some benches and things, so we move forward. And that's been their focus is this a particular skate park to make these improvements. Councilman Nissen, you had a question.
Are you gonna put, since it's been doctors, you don't put the double gates, so you have a gate and you walk in and you have another gate?
Yes, that's part of it.
The dog can't go through? Okay.
Yes, it's going to have a double gate for safety for that reason, so the dogs won't get out and run. So you'll walk in and you have another gate when you go in.
And the neighbors are all pretty positive. I know the town wants it because of that big survey.
Matter of fact, I think, I don't, Paul's talked to the majority of the neighbors, one of the neighbors, she was all excited. She was, when it gets there, she's ready to start fixing up her house. It's been vacant for about 10, 15 years, so she was excited about it. To move back home. So.
Councilman Jimenez, did you have another question?
No, no one's saying that, you know, not wanting to do things at the park. You know, I was just giving a suggestion on doing the parking along there. It seemed like you could put maybe 10 or 12 parkings along 6th Street and the park area.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. So eventually there'll be a roadway going through the park connecting to, I think it's 6th Street. So you'll go from A to 6th Street. So the plan is, I should have probably wrong, but it'll go through the park as the
drive?
Yeah, like a drive through the middle of it.
Because that is a flood area.
Yes.
Flood plain. But when I was in the council, we purchased that property for almost like a retention pond. You know, having the pipes and letting the water out.
Yeah, exactly. So when we decided to put the park, before I got on the board, where they put it was where that old house was. I don't remember the name of the house.
No, I understand.
So it's completely out. So everything that they're going to help with the flooding is going to go back towards the other way and then widen the drainage area.
I'm talking about the parking and
Oh, yes.
driving through the park. I think that's not a good idea.
Okay, yeah, and that's what it says. We want to get y'all's opinion on that. Like I said, it's just a preliminary part, plat that Intrepid drew up, but nothing set in stone. But this is just phase one that we wanted to implement, that we could do it at a reasonable cost and something that the city didn't have to reach a gap that that survey, when it came out in the community, that was one of the top priorities that they asked for, was a place where they could walk their animals that they didn't have in town. And like I said, it's not just a dog park, but another walking trail added onto the community for our safety.
I'm just saying for the safety, you're saying you drive through the middle. There's
Yeah.
kids running around and everything else you want.
Oh, no,
You want to
definitely.
have a designated area for the parking, walking.
And Ed walked in there, he's on our own. I think if you were to have a little place to come in and drive, to maybe have like, how many parking lots? About 15, right when you go in, so just kind of go in, kind of loop around and come out, just until we get there. With the first phase,
Okay, any other comments by the council? Not,
and really just to get your approval to build on.
Right. Any citizens' comments at this moment? Okay. If not, I will entertain a motion to, we're looking at item G, consideration action to allow the Floresville Parks Foundation to make improvements to the skate park with the Baptist Health grant funds of $7,500. I will entertain a motion.
I move to allow the Floresville Park Foundation to make improvements to the skate park and Baptist, with a Baptist Health grant funds.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second with, with the instructions for the city, making sure that everything's done safe,
Oh yeah, we're going to do it all with Mark and with Ingrid overseeing the project.
So do I have a second by
Yes.
Councilman Jimenez? Okay. I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Cantu, a second by Councilman Jimenez. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. 5-0.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Moving on to item 5H, consideration action to direct the city manager to request bids for an event center sign. Councilman Ortiz.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Last time that I had asked for the council's approval and for a directive for Ms. Henrietta to go and get a sign, we had a talk and there was a conversation that she could get the sign up before the event. I mean, for the sports complex, the ceremony. So after taking everything under consideration, the size, how long it would be, the speed of the vehicles that they would be passing by, I believe that sign would be of little help, the one for 50,000. So I'm asking Henrietta to go out for a bigger sign, more the height be taller, the sign be wider, more bigger. Henrietta, can you update us on this?
Yes, sir. So in your packet, that is the specifications that we did when we did this about, I can't believe it's been 3 years already. 2 years it is. The 2016, we went out, and so that's the type, and we can look at those specs, and I want to give it to you, so if you had any comments or whatever. But we did receive the 3 bids back on October, and the pink paper is just so that you can quickly change the different sections. But back in October of 2016, we did receive several bids, and the prices range from, as you can see, $124,000 to $188,000. And the funding for this would come out of the hotel motel tax money, which is a legitimate expense for a sign for the event center. I wanted you to see what the sign would look like, so there's custom builders, and you just see as you fold it out. And I just need to know the direction by the council if you want me to prepare the specifications and to go out to bid again. I believe this is 2 years ago with the pricing. If there's something we want to take out, we will have to have, because of the height, a structural engineer, their structural engineer to review that. And I followed up with TxDOT because the size of this is almost the size of a billboard. We would have to get permission to make sure. You can imagine this will be quite light, right? And there's requirements on the highway for this type of sign because of the height. And so I just wanted to make sure that you all want me to move forward, how you want me to proceed to go out to bid for this price. But this will just give you because I know some of the council members were not on the council before, just an idea of what happened when we went out to bid the last time.
So the question, correct me if I'm wrong, Councilman Ortiz, is the size of the sign.
Correct.
Councilman Newsom?
They can see going out to something like at the max 8 by 16 double sided. We got to keep the money down. This comes out of motel. I said how much money we're going to have. And next year, we're not going to get as much, but we're going to use revenue. You know, 8 by 16 or 6 by 12 double sided. But going all the way up to 10 by 20 and looking at them numbers, we can't afford that. We might be able to do the 8 by 16 for 124 all in money. We would maybe ask for donations from somebody to be pockets or something. But at the max, 8.4 by 16, I'm okay with going out for bid on that. All hooked up and walk away with the key in our pocket, working.
Okay. Any others, council comments?
Agree with that. You know.
But the face of the sign, can I ask me? The face of the sign, some of them, I didn't have my pen in my hand. The face of the sign, your recommendation is what's?
Well, you have
8 by
sign, double face, 8 by 4 by 16, or 124, about get 3 bids on that. And if I remember correctly, the lady or person who came in, gave us the price of the Cadillac signs. We can sort of go with the Ford or Chevy or something like that sign. She even said that she could get a cheaper sign if you didn't want to go with that Las Vegas sign company or something.
This is, it was spec, this gentleman came out and did a presentation that we had here, big twice, Firefox or Fire, that I think the appeal to that company is that it's a U.S. company, it's made here in the U.S. As you know, even TVs are having a hard time being made. This company is all made and everything's made in the U.S. But if you don't specify, this would specify that, but then it's your choice if you want to specify the company that's all made in America, it's your choice.
Because right now, with this 124, it says this does not include electric or the sign. And I know the electric won't be much, 10, 20, 30, who knows? But, we need to get everything included in the price. But we're not, coming all excited with a $100,000 sign, and all of a sudden monument, or the poles, they want more, the electric, they want more, before long, we're at 150, where everybody's getting surprised. And all inclusive should be their turnkey.
Yes, sir.
124.50, that was without electricity. This right has to keep paper.
It's this one here, George.
Emergency freeze.
Cameras.
Yeah.
And I just put that in your, I know, I don't want to, I just want to put it in your package. We have them for what we had before. So some council members were on the council, some weren't, or it's been 2 years. I just needed you all to say what the numbers were and what they look like. We can modify the specifications, and then we can go out to bid. Of course, we know that it won't be here in time for the 24th, because I have to put it in the paper and things such as that. Councilman Jimenez?
And I know for a fact that the past few years, a lot of the signage is more competitive. You might be able to get the same thing for a lot less now. So,
We're going to put it out there, and if you're not going to require to use the Firefox type, then you may have something from a different version. As I said, some things are American-made, some things are not. And so even you can't find a TV that's made in America anymore.
yeah, but there's a lot of different types of lightings that, now we have LED. We didn't, a few years ago.
You're chasing
Night, all that.
You're chasing technology,
Yeah.
Councilman, you're right, because it changes, what you can do and upgrades. And so in 2 years, I'm quite sure there's a lot smaller, faster models that they had 2 years ago. And more visibility.
And, well, as a matter of fact, that's the sign that I wanted last time. Can you recall that?
Oh, yes, sir.
I hope that this time you'll
I just need to give you some time to
Sure.
modify, make these changes, put it in the paper and advertise, and then we'll come back with those dates. And at the next council meeting, I should be able to tell you the bid dates and things such as that, if you allow me to go forward and bid. Any other comments by the council? Any citizens' comments? If not, I will entertain a motion to direct the city manager to request bids for an event center sign designated in the, what is the number that we want to stick with on the council?
124,000 with 500.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to direct the city manager to request bids for an event center sign at the sum of $124,500.
So,
There's a motion,
so
All inclusive.
all inclusive.
Or the 124.
Yes.
for this.
Okay. I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Ortiz. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Cantu. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. 5-0.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Moving on to item G, consideration and action to approve Phase 2 of the Event Center Fire Flow Connection. Yes. Okay, Mayor, in your packet, and I, please,
Favorite page.
I did not receive this number until after your packages were put together and picked up, so I apologize. But in your packet, there's a fold-out map from M&S to complete Phase 2. Phase 1 was actually putting in the water line, the Event Center Fire Flow water line, that terminates at the driveway of the exit of the portion. It is there, but now we need to get it to the building. At one time, we've had conversations that we could have our staff do it in-house, but with the anticipation of all the things we have going on, they will not have time to dedicate to this project. As you see, it's going to go straight down the line here, straight down this fence line here, and connect to the fire hydrant and the service line in the back. Here at the price that they came in at $49,950. The engineer has looked at it and said it basically wants. Now, when we were going to do the second phase before, I believe those projections for the M&S came in at about 87. They had already engineered this, so there's no engineering fee associated with this. They had already engineered it, we just never actually put it together. So I'm just looking to see if you all want to move forward. Of course, as you see, this exceeds my dollar amount for approval. But this will be Phase 2. It is to do the fire suppression for this building. There is another phase or 3 phase that we can look over when we do the second phase of the park if you so desire, but this is to get the entry here. Right now today, our staff is hooking up and doing the water lines that we get for the concession stand. This is a dedicated water line for this building itself.
I'm gonna go ahead and move to approve phase 2 of the event center, water flow connection.
Hold off on that motion until there's a completed discussion on this item. Are there any questions from the council pertaining to this? Yes, Councilman Jones?
Where's this money coming from? Out of our water fund?
Yes, sir, this will come out of your water fund.
Don't you feel that since we have 2 water wells always down, well, one of them completely down, we should be splitting our money or trying to get money together to drill a new well or repair wells or whatever? Really not working very well.
You actually have 2 of your wells working quite well. We're going to be doing some remodeling.
Not
Plaza well is offline, and that will be coming back for you. Yes.
Street is day to day, basically.
East Street is up and running, but we can't take it offline. We do have an interconnect that's coming up, and Councilman, I did try to call you, Councilman, he's reminding me on the 14th at the Oakville's Water, we're on the agenda. The attorney will be attending as well. This is one of the recommendations for the Public Works project that's moving forward. The line is here across the street. It's made here, it's truncated. We need to get it to complete it, to get it to the back of the building to complete. I look for your directions if you want to move forward, but this is a project that's not complete at the time. There is not a fire hydrant, it's just capped. We could put a fire hydrant if you like, but that was not the original direction of the board when we started this project. It was to connect it to the city, so.
You have a fire hydrant back, though, right? So
There's
we'll
a
have-
fire hydrant, and it'll have the pressure
To operate that fire hydrant.
to operate the fire hydrant and fully operate, and then we can pass the test on sprinklers for this building.
And that would be, have enough pressure back to BTS, we'll have plenty of pressure then.
We have plenty of pressure now, because at the design of this, predates me, but the design of this building, in order to get the proper load that you have, you have to pump water from the pool, and I'm not quite sure we want to take that chance that we have enough water for the pool. This will solve your fire suppression issue for this building. But I'm looking for your direction.
We got a motion.
If, also, any citizens' comments pertaining to the water flow project? Phase 2. Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion to approve phase 2 of the event center fire flow connection. I believe I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Cantu. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
Seconded by Councilman Nessen. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed? 4-1. Thank you. All right, moving on to our last item on the agenda, the executive session. I will read it. 6A, pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code, personal matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, dismissal, or dismissal from the public office or employee, city manager's quarterly review. I'm going to let the city manager and the city attorney take over.
Well, I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
My understanding is that the manager.
I'm requesting that you may go into executive session to deliberate if you like. I'm just saying on the review, I'm just requesting it being held in open session.
I'd like to take a break from it.
Do we need to go? Do we need to go? Hold on, Mr. Newsom, real quick. Are we going into executive session, or do you have everything already that you needed evaluations?
I believe I do. I think that there is one evaluation, Councilman Ortiz. I didn't get yours. I don't know if you're going to submit one or if you chose to sit this one out.
I'll go ahead and submit one.
Okay. If I can have those numbers, Madam Mayor, I already have some numbers regarding the other individuals that have already submitted, and I have given a packet to each and every one of you with those numbers, but I will have corrections.
Okay. I'll make a motion to take a break.
Take that and you'll go ahead and get this. Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back. It is now 7:57.
Drink that water or
Thank you very much.